All right, guys, today we are looking into Claude for small business, and I'm going to aim to keep this video as short as humanly possible. But essentially, it gives you 31 commands and connectors you can use instantly right out of the box. Incredibly useful. However, can be stretched further than that, as right now it's been trained to utilize the connectors that it is built in, which is HubSpot, QuickBooks, Canva, DocuSign, Slack, and you probably are, if you're a small business, utilizing the majority of these, but maybe you're not using some of them. Perhaps you've got different ones. Perhaps you've got a different CRM. Perhaps you've got Xero instead of QuickBooks. And it's fairly easy for you to then swap these skills around and tell them to use a different connector. So that's what we're going to go through today. First off, let's get this installed. Now, you can do this via Claude Code or in VS Code, but you can also do it via Cowork as well. And we're just going to go into Customize. Once you've got the app open, you're going to go Browse Plugins. And you can just type small. And there you go. You just click the plus button. And that's now installed. Nice and easy. Obviously, you can click onto Manage, and you can teach yourself more about this if you want to. You can read through all of the skills if you need, but they're all fairly transparent what they do. Close the month, it'll just get a reconciliation of the month that's happened, business pulse, what's going on, content creator strategy. Very self-explanatory on what everything does. You've got all the apps that you can install here as well. But here, I'm going to leave it most of them off, because I'm going to show you. These are the connectors that I've got, which is Airtable, Canva, Clay on this one. I don't really use that app base myself mostly. Mostly I am utilizing Claude Code via VS, as I like having access to files and a few more things. But for the sake of easiness, we're going to do it via here today. Anyway, once you've got it all connected, we've then got Cowork. And so here, we can just type in the slash button. So if you just type in the slash button, it will then bring up all the skills that you have, that you've installed. And here we're going to just go into SMB Onboard and go, I would like to set this up with my own connectors, such as Airtable instead of HubSpot, for example. So we're just going to run it through this one. And right now I've just got it set up on the Pro plan just because I wanted to show people how it can be used. I've built a lot of things for the Max plan, Opus, and so on and so forth. This seems to be generally fine for this kind of instance, and for the majority of people, the Pro plan is enough. Unless you're doing some intensive building of something, then you don't need to be utilizing the Opus. All right, so here it goes, and then basically it just starts asking you various questions. What are the day-to-days that eat my time? Let's say creating content on a regular basis. You can also use the voice thing as well. This is often a little bit better. And you can choose if you want it to run acting mode or if you want it to just go beforehand. So ask or act. In this case, I'm just going to let it just go for it, get that going. Obviously, you got more down here at the bottom. You can see it's got more skills, more connectors, plugins. With Cowork right now as well, they're also giving access 2 times more access until the 5th of July. So between now and the 5th of July, you've got double the amount of usage on Claude Cowork, which is incredibly useful and means that you can take advantage of this and start building a lot more things without having to like take up all your usage. You can actually really get into this. So that's why I'm building this right now. It's asking me if I want to I'm going to say, let's keep it on Airtable and on. So with the SMB Onboard, you're essentially allowed to build it how you want. So once you run through all your connectors and your business and how things work, it will then, any of the skills that you have got by typing in slash, by the way, again, you just type in slash, it will build up all the skills. It will then know where to go for them. You can be like, okay, for the Friday brief, I want it to read these connectors. For the lead triage, I want it to go here. I want it to check this table. For the plan payroll, I want it to check this within my Xero or QuickBooks account. I want to check. Sorry, there was some stuff going on outside. If you want it to run a campaign, you can get it to run a campaign. So here we are. And so here we can see it's got my Canva. It's found like an AI content social calendar that I made up a long time ago now. It's got prompts, social posts. It can see everything in there, which is already available. It's connecting to all the stuff that I have made previously. And now it's fetching my records, it's processing, it's analyzing, it's getting all the stuff. Yeah, I'm allowing it to do that right now for the sake of this demonstration. Obviously, you can limit what you want it to have access to, so you can choose where you want it to go. So now it can basically look, you can draft some posts, you can flag some renewal, and 3 quick questions. So what kind of business do I run? Give me the one-liner, what do I want? So here I could type this in, but I could also tell it to go into a specific file. So let's say I have already made this. I've already got everything about me in terms of a business. I can now add a folder. So I could go into my documents, and let's say I'm going to do it into my SaaS tool. I'm going to add this folder to it, and I'm going to say, look at a folder added, LinkedIn SaaS, and get an understanding of my business. So now it's going to go through that folder, and obviously it's going to grab everything it can about my business, who I am. It's probably not going to be 100%. And there will be some things that you'll need to adjust based upon who your voice is, where you are, what you're doing. But it will probably get 90% of it correct. It may get 100%. If you're running this with Opus, it'll probably do it even better. And what this means is then anytime in the future, once you've got it set up to all the connectors, all the tools you want, I can then ask it to bring things. So let's say, for example, I'm going to get it to do something while that's happening at the same time. So first, can you bring up, let's just get it, see, I want it to bring up all the leads that I have in Airtable. So I'm going to get it to do these 2 things for me. And you may be like, okay, is this the most efficient that you want it? You can obviously get it running multiple tasks at the same time. So like this is running, like this is going to do this. Let's say I want it to do something else at the same time. I'm going to get it to do a different skill. So let's say content strategy. So that's now both of them are running at the same time. So here we can see this one is now this is currently fetching that. And this is currently doing that for content strategy. And again, you could spin up as many of these actions as you want at the same time. You don't need to be working or let it think on one thing and then do something else. You can be like, how many actions do I want to get finished at the same time so that I can maximize my usage? As mentioned, you've got double usage this month for Claude Cowork. So take advantage of that. You can schedule a ton of tasks. If you want it to give you a daily brief, a weekly review, if you want to run while, let's say, while your computer, they only run while, if you want it to keep your computer awake so that it will run all the time, you can tick that. I don't personally. I have things running in NAN or on my VPS, so stuff is scheduled there. But it's up to you how you want to do that. So we can set up a task that we want it to run, and you can say, look, check my contact Google Calendar for today's meeting, give me a review, send an email to my client, a daily email to my client. Maybe you want to connect WhatsApp, for example, and you have, you're coaching someone and they need to get a daily update of the things they need to complete today so that they're accountable for that. And you'll be like, hey, can you check this folder for the weekly task, the daily task that my client is meant to complete? You type in their name. Can you send them an email tomorrow with this daily task so that they will complete it and monitor for a reply, for example? And you can say, hey, do you want this to go daily? And then do you want it to go weekly? It's really up to you. And again, you can set it how to do this. You can set up the model that you want it to run on. You can set up the project. It's incredibly powerful. Okay, how much stuff am I doing on a daily basis that I don't need to be doing on a daily basis that I could just have fully automated from Claude Cowork? So what's going on here? 30-day content strategy. So that's still thinking about it. And here we are, the custom connectors. So here it's found, this is talking about the leads. So it's found me like the 2000 leads. It's got the other people. It's got C-level leads. And I could ask it like, okay, create a CSV with just the C-level leads and then a personalized message campaign I could send them. So now I then create a personalized message campaign that I could then send them. And then you can set this up as an automated task. If you wanted to then be like, I want this to run daily and I want it to then send them this message that we're creating here for these C-level people, it will we can set it up so that it will do that for you. All right, and now it's got the 30-day. Here we are. So here it's created 30-day ideas. And the thing is, I've obviously done this. I've used the skill content creator to do that, and obviously done this manually. But again, I could just schedule this, and let's say run this every Monday with all skills. And now it's going to set up that as a scheduled task to run every single week. And let's see how this is going. So that's now creating, and it's going to create a nice CSV for me. One thing you will find is that if you do use Opus, it will be significantly quicker compared to Sonnet. Sonnet does take quite a bit of time. It is obviously quite cost effective. It's a good thing to do while you're doing other things. Like if you've got to reply to an email, you've got to send something else, you've got to check something, go for lunch. So the tool isn't responding there, which is obviously a bit frustrating. But we can set it up manually here. We could say create content, and then you can choose the model. And in this case, we'll just do the Sonnet one. And then you can ask to look in the project. And we're just going to say act. And I'm going to say look, and then weekly. And then save. Voila. And that's the task there. And obviously you can pause it. You can run it now. I can enable. It's entirely up to you how you want to do it. And then you've saved that task, that scheduled task for you on a weekly basis. Now, has it managed to, so it's done this, which is great. It's got the 30 leads and it's got a fully personalized message in the document for me. As here, we've got the CSV. And the document is then, and then it's interesting that it's done it in separate documents. I probably wouldn't have done that. I would have put it just within the CSV itself. So it's got the connection, and then it's got the nice little message to use for someone. And obviously it's tailored it exactly towards that person as well, because it's got all their details from here. So and obviously I can then ask it like, okay, I want you to go onto LinkedIn, and then I want you to go through this CSV and then connect to these people and then send this message. And it's got all the LinkedIn URLs, so then it could do that. A little bit of manual effort there, but you can start to understand how this can be used in a flexible manner and how you can schedule things on a regular basis. I would say have a play around. I would definitely recommend getting as many connectors as you're willing, as you want to test in there sorted, and then look at the skills, look at your day-to-day, write out, okay, what are the things that I do on a daily basis that I could probably optimize and automate throughout the business so that I can focus on more important things. What stuff do I not need to be doing anymore that Claude Cowork can do for me? And just ask the question, could this be automated? Probably yes. If you're wondering if it can or can't, just let me know. I'm more than happy to clarify. If you have any questions on utilizing Claude Cowork or Claude Code or anything that could be relevant for your projects, please ask me. I will include the little handout as well, which is 31 commands and 12 tools, which you can then utilize and take advantage of. It obviously explains everything here in far more detail than I've gone into today. But I wanted to just show how it works, what it can do, what are the things that you need to look out for, how you activate skills, how you install plugins, and then what it could be, what you can automate in your life. Anyway, that's Claude Cowork for business. You've got the 2 times usage. I hope that's helpful. Let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, I wish you a wonderful day. Thank you.